everyone, welcome to my channel The Cloud Box, and in this video we are going to discuss about one of the interview question which was asked in American Express Pyspark Data Engineering interview. Okay, so before I start this video, let me quickly introduce my channel. The channel name you can see The Cloud Box, and here I upload video related to Azure Data Engineering. You will find many videos on Pyspark, Data Factory, Azure SQL, T-SQL, Spark SQL, okay, and so on. So mostly I upload video related to scenario-based question as well as interview question and all the fundamental concepts which you can consider for considering your journey for Azure Data Engineering. If you are new to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe so you do not miss any notification once you upload any video related to PySpark or Data Factory. Okay, so we are quickly going to discuss about the question. So we'll quickly come to the question. So you can see the question is like we have something called value as a one column, and we have record like one, then platinum, then basically the backward slash T1990. Okay, and then we have a pi, and then we have a New York. So ideally this shouldn't be the case for idle record. Here we can see records are records having multiple delimiter, right? Or you can say the separator. So we can see like for the next record also we have something called 2, then comma reward, and then backward slash, then T, basically the tab character, then 1995, then we have pi and the New Jersey. So the question was we have to map this all this uh, value to their respective column value, and we have also handled the multi delimiter character. Okay, so let's say one should be mapped to card ID, then the name something platinum reward travel should be mapped to the card category, and then we have something called 1990 should map to the launch year, and the New York, New Jersey, California we have to map to the city or maybe launch place, something like that. We have to do that, and also we have to define their proper data type as well. Let's say 123 should be integer type, 1990 and 1995 and 2001 should be mapped to integer, and so respectively New York and platinum should map to the string data type. Okay, so how to do that? Okay, so you understood the question, I believe. So let me quickly go to the Databricks community version account. I'm using this free. So if you do not know how to create that, go to Google and simply type community version Databricks, and you can go ahead and do the sign up. Okay. So cool. So first we try to implement the data which we have seen. Uh, so probably it will take time, but yeah, we have to do that. So what we can do, we can take data like data is equal to, then we have to take this bracket, right? So here we'll one, okay, then we have something called platinum, then T, then New York. Okay, so we have something, we have to write something like this. Okay, then we have also we have something called the tab character, then we have something like this, and then we have a pi separator, and we will mention the city, right? And similarly we have another record, so we'll separate by comma. So first go to the id2, and we'll, this record is separated by comma, the, and then we have another name, that is the travel, and for that, right, we do not have comma here. So this record is probably separated by the tab character, and the launch year you can consider 1995, and then uh, something called the New Jersey. Okay, again we have comma here, right? Not sure about the exact year, but this was the data set probably. So we have something called let's say, let make this was reward, right? So I believe this was reward, and this is the travel card. So, and also we have and the launch year was, I believe, 2001, and we have something called uh, California or something, right? So California will type it here. Cool. So I believe we have created the data set correctly. And now what we have to do, let's say, let's store into a data frame. So what we need to do, we have to create the data frame, right? Create data frame, we'll find create data and frame. We'll pass like data is equal to data, or simply data, and everything is in string as of now. Okay, let me quickly go ahead and show the data so you can see whether we have created the data frame or not. So I'm just quickly running it. So yeah, you can see we have probably created the data, but basically we are not able to see the exact data. The reason is data got truncated. So what we will do, we'll do truncate is equal to false, right? So just let's do that. So now we are able to see, we are able to match the same record. It's one platinum T1990 1995 New Jersey, California, something, something, something. Okay, cool. So now what would be the second step? Okay, so firstly, we are seeing this is really looking a very bad record, right? So we have to map to your existing column as well. Fine. So, I mean, what the observation you are thinking here, like how to handle this, right? So, if you see, right, what we can do, we can split that record. Okay. So let's say after comma, right, we will split based on the comma, then we will split based on the tab, and then we will split based on the pi character. Okay, so once we are finding any of these character, let's say after comma, if we finding something, then we will split. Okay, and we will map to their their I mean basically respective column, right? So I guess this approach should be I mean this approach using this approach we would be able to solve this. So let's go ahead and check how exactly we can do that. Okay, so what we can do, you can take this split call one basically a variable. Okay, you can take a split call as a one variable, and in that we can use a split function, and in the split function we are passing that basically array value, right? This is nothing but a basically array, right? We are passing that array value, and we are separating. We need to separate using basically after comma we have to use the separator, right? So firstly we'll check with comma, then we are going to mention this or. Okay, this is basically nothing but a pi symbol is first going to act for a or logical operator. Okay, then we are going to check for the tab. So firstly it is going to check, okay, we have to check either comma either tab character. So we it can see, right, we have a comma, right? So it is going to split that record and is going to map with the existing column, I mean basically the respective column. Fine. Now again, right, now again we have to check. So it first check for this. Now again we have to use this or character. Okay, and now we have to mention the pi, right? But the logic is here it is considering is as a or, but here also is considering, here also it is considering as or character, but I mean basically or operator, but here also it should consider or. So it is going to find what is next, right? So we are seeing there is no next, right? So for that we are using escape character to consider this as not a or logical operator. Instead it's going to escape this as a value, right? So this is going to consider this as a pi character. You see, first we are going to check with either comma or either tab character. Understood? Now we are going to check either tab character or either it's a basically or I mean basically pi character. So first it is going to take this tab, and then it's going to or using or, and then we have used the escape character for pi. So it is going to consider that. Hope you it makes some sense, right? So the moment we do that, right? So now let me quickly go ahead and run whether we have so you can see split is not defined, right? So what we can do, we can go ahead and add one more cell above. And here what we can do, we need to, uh, let's say from Pyspark dot SQL dot functions, right? Import a split, right? So the moment you run this, And now if you're coming and you are just going to run this, it is going to work because a split is a function we need to import it. Okay, now the what would be the next thing, right? Fine. So we have taken this into a data frame, right? So what we can do, we have the same data frame. I'm like, we can use the with column. Okay. So using with column, we can assign a new column name that is the, let's say, card ID. Fine. And probably we have used that split call variable, and split call variable we are going to use the get item function, and in the get item function we are going to the first element from that array list. Okay, so the first element we are taking it and we are going to map with the card ID column name. Okay, understood. Fine. So in a similar way, what we can do, we can have something called, let's say, with column again, right? So what we can do, we can use the with column again, and here what we can do, we can pass list card category, right? So if you understand the same approach, we are again going to take the split call, right? And then we are going to use the get item here, and this time it is going to take the first item, right? It is going to take the first item, and then again we are let's say you have used dot here, so not this time, so we are going to use with column again. I hope you were able to relate something, right? This is the card category, right? And now we have something called okay, okay, understood. So now uh, we have to check for the year. Okay, so let's say this is year, or maybe launch year, what you can consider. Okay, so this is year maybe. And there we are going to use that a split call. Okay, split call, and again we are going to use the get item, and this time the item number would be 2. And then again for the last time, uh, we are going to use the same approach, and this would be probably city, right? So city, and here you can use call and dot get item, uh, right? So this time would be 3, and we are good, right? Now probably we are good, I believe. So just go ahead and run this, whether everything is working fine or not. Good, it is working. So now if you just go ahead and do that, so uh, fine, we are able to see that card ID is coming, card category is coming, year is coming, city is coming, and this value again it's coming because it's holding the original value, right? So what we can do, we can use the df dot select, and here what we can do, you can use the card ID. Okay, we only want the required column, right? So you can use the card ID, and then here you can use the card category, right? So you can use the card category, and here you can use probably the year, right? So you can use the year here, and now here you can use the last column, and right. uh okay, now if you do the it should show only the respective column which you want, right? So boom, so you can see card ID, card category, year, and city is coming, and irrespective of this record, this is really bad looking record, we have mapped this record into a proper way, right? And we have handled this proper delimiter. Okay, so let's say if this you are going to remove this, let me remove this, everything is it's not going to work. Okay, let me run this, let me run this again. You can see, right? It is not going to take the item also, right? It is going to throw an error. So let's say we have not removed this. Instead of this, I have, let's say, I have removed this, let's say one thing or something I have removed. Okay. Uh, let's say I have removed this. Okay. Now if I'm going to run this, and if I'm going to run this, you can see this is again come a very messy, right? So you need to be proper aligned, right? I mean, basically what we are going to do that, right? So now go ahead and simply execute one more time to see whether your records are getting corrected or not. So now you can see this is really good, right? So we have mapped to, and now the second question was, right, if you go ahead and simply store this into a df2 probably. Okay, let's say you are going to store into a df2 and remove this so method from here, and you just do this df2 and df2 dot so, and now you are seeing that df2 dot print schema, right, to see the schema, right? So you can see everything will be string, right? Everything is string because we have assigned everything in a string here in a data, right? So the question was like you need to map their respective uh, column value to their respective data type. So card id should be integer type, year should be integer type, and card category and city should be string data type, right? So how you can do that? So let me quickly take this. Um, Let me quickly df3 df.select, and we have different approaches, right? So what we can do, df.card id, then what I can do, then cast, and then I can use int. Okay. uh, in the similar way, card category and year is already fine. Card category and city is already fine. So what I can do, df dot year, and then I can use cast, and then here I can use int, and I'm going to remove this. Uh, Now df3 dot so, let me, and df3 dot print schema, if I'll do that. So I guess okay, so here I need to put into a string code, right? So probably it shouldn't throw error now. So you can see we have converted this card ID to integer and year to integer and this city to string. If not, right, so this is the one way of doing that. Or what we can do, you can create external schema, something like that. You can use the struct type, right? You can use the struct type, and here in the struct type you can use something like a struct field, right? I believe you know this, right? You can use a struct type, and here you can use something like card id, um, integer type, something like that. Also you can do that. Okay, so I mean, in this way we used to do, and you can simply pass this while creating data frame. Data is equal to data, schema is equal to schema, so it will also work. So I hope you were able to understand it. Uh, Let me quickly show one more thing. We have created it, right? Let's say if you want to show this data, right? Let's say if I show this data here, so probably you will see that the tab character doesn't show in Excel. Let's say, let me quickly expand this. So you can see the tab character is basically one, I mean, extra spaces in a table. But if you see dots in the so method, we are able to see that tab character is coming as it is, right? So nothing but this was a good question was asking American Express interview, and similarly I'm going to collect some question from one of my friend or who knows me on the LinkedIn. So basically I'm going to ask and try to solve this question, and I'm going to give the solution, and I'll try to upload on the YouTube on the and as well as on the LinkedIn. And again I'll paste this basically the I will download the source file, and I will upload to the GitHub, so you can have a look on the question. Okay, I hope you really like this video, and thank you for the support, and please do subscribe and stay tuned. I'll be uploading more video, and please upskill yourself for Azure Data Engineering. Thank you so much. Bye. Have a wonderful day.